Hi everybody, my name is Danielle Nicole and welcome to Monetary Makeup. So I have a December birthday, so of course I had to pick up from BH Cosmetics their December palette in the shade called Turquoise. Now this is only my second purchase as far as eyeshadows from BH Cosmetics, so I am so excited to dive right in. So while we see how this turquoise palette from BH Cosmetics performs, the topic of the day is going to be regarding how much money do I need to retire on my own terms. So if you're excited to see this review as well as talk about the finance topic of the day, don't forget to hit the like button, the notification bell, and let's get started right now. We're going to be doing swatches, a wear test, and a review. Now this is only my second palette from BH Cosmetics, so I am so excited to dive right in. So let's open this bad boy up. Now the packaging is cardboard, it does feel very light, and just so that way you know, when you open the palette, you do have not a full mirror, but a partial mirror down below, and then here are what the 7 different shades look like. So before we get into the tutorial, let me show you these swatches. So it looks like there are 3 mattes, 3 shimmers, and 1 glitter. So here are what they look like. Now upon swatching, I do want to mention all of the mattes and shimmers did feel very buttery, very smooth. There was no chunk to them. And as I did swatch the glitter, which is this blue shade right here called Wild Thing, how appropriate, the glitter does not seem to be self-adhesive. So if you do go in, just be careful, and I would recommend using a glitter glue. So I already have all of my makeup on, including eye primer and just a tiny bit of setting powder on the lids, so let's dive right in. So this channel is all about quick, easy makeup for women over 30, so I think I have an idea of what I'd like to do. So for a transition shade, I'd like to go in with this kind of brownish orange color called Friendly. Reference number 1. So I only did 2 dips into that shade, and look at how much pigment that picked up. Holy cow. So as I mentioned, this is only my second palette from BH Cosmetics, so I was not expecting that pigmentation to be there right off the bat. So I'm just going to apply this all over the lid. Now I did not get any fallout, so I just dipped in again. Now I typically do not tap off my brushes because I like to see how much fallout there is, and I also think it's kind of, I don't want to say a waste of product. If you have to tap it off, you have to tap it off, but I just really enjoy seeing what kind of pigmentation the product offers. I'm actually kind of surprised how much brighter this orange shade is. I was expecting it to lean a little bit more brown, but it definitely leans more orange. So if you have blue or green eyes, this would probably be a beautiful shade on you. I forgot to mention, I also picked up the DojaCat Flora palette, which is a palette with 3 different blush shades. So I'm going to be applying that on the cheeks as well. Wow, so Friendly came across, at least on my eyes, much more orange than brown. Perhaps that's because I have blue eyes. I'm not mad at it. I was expecting it to be much deeper, and it's not, so really like this first shade. Next, I'm going to dip into Ambitious, this deeper brown shade, just to deepen up the crease. Same reference number 1 brush. Now I am cleaning off these brushes in between these shades. However, because these are natural hair bristles, they do tend to kind of hang on to some of the pigmentation, so I just wanted to mention that. So I'm going in with a very light hand for Ambitious, because I don't want this look to be too smoky. I just want a little bit of depth in the outer corner. Wow, these 2 shades complement each other so well. Because this orange-brown shade is a little bit lighter, which I was not expecting, and then going in with Ambitious just to deepen up the outer V, I think the depth it provides upon these 2 shades is just perfect. And also these textures are blending out so quick, so easy. So far I'm really excited at this entire palette. So next I'm going to line the upper lash line with the shade Ambitious. Okay, so these 2 shades, that's all we've used so far. They are blowing me away. Not only is the consistency so buttery and smooth and blendable, but on top of it, Each of these shades have much more of an orange undertone than I expected, which I am so happy about. I have so many browns, just flat browns in my collection, and even looking at the swatch, look how brown that shade looks, but on my eyes, it definitely comes across more orange, so I don't know, so far, what do you guys think? Okay, so this gold shade, which is called Wise, is definitely calling my name, so next let's go in with that shade. Reference number 2. So I want to see how their shimmers do with a brush. Typically, I end up going in with my finger, but if I don't have to, that would be awesome. So let's dip into the gold. I'm not going to spray the brush at first, so let's see how pigmented this is. Whoa. Oh my gosh. Holy smokes, can you see how pigmented that gold is? Oh my gosh, I was not expecting that to show up with using a brush. Wow. Okay, I am absolutely blown away by Wise. I did not want my brush, and the fact that I used a brush and I did not have to use my finger, look how beautiful that is. I mean, if there ever was a beautiful shimmery gold, this is definitely it. Now there is a little bit of fallout with the shade Wise, so just be careful. Perhaps it would make sense to tap off the brush. However, I did not because I really wanted to build up that pigmentation. So it's up to you what you would like to do. Next, for the lower lash line, I'd like to go in with this blue shade, which is called Good Vibes. Shot Miss AOA brush in number E111. Okay, so this is one dip in the blue. Holy smokes. I am shocked at how pigmented these are thus far. I guess because they're so affordable. I think these palettes were $12 if I'm not mistaken, but I actually got it on sale, so I think I paid, I don't know, $6 or $10 for it. So the fact that they are this pigmented, I just wasn't expecting them to be. So I'm only going to take this about 2/3 of the way in, because I find if I go all the way into the inner corner, it kind of closes off my eyes and makes them look smaller. Okay, we are almost done. So next I'd like to dip into the lightest shimmer shade, which is called Influential, and use that for the inner corner. This is a Sonia Kashuk brush. It does not have a number, but it is perfect for the inner corner. I already applied this to my right eye, and I was kind of expecting it to be too deep for an inner corner highlight, and I don't think it is. I think it looks great, so I will show you guys up close in a second. So I'm going to use that same Influential shade for the brow bone highlight. Okay, so this is what we are looking like so far. I am loving the blue underneath and then the orange and gold on top. And I do want to mention the two shimmer shades right here do have a significant amount of fallout. Nothing too dramatic, but I am noticing some kind of flecks of shimmer below my eyes. But also keep in mind, I do not tap off my brushes typically, so I would imagine if you chose to tap off your brushes, I don't think the fallout would be as much as I'm getting. So before I add mascara and cut into these swatches, I do want to mix these two blush shades from the Flora palette just to see what it looks like. I do have a little bit of blush on already. I apologize, I forgot that I had this palette. So I am really excited for this shade right here in particular because it is rare to find a blush shade that is more cool tone but also this fair. So this is the shade I'm going to dip into. And I'm just using a Real Techniques highlighter brush because that is what is in front of me. Wow, I like that. It really brightened up the skin. I don't know if you have a medium skin tone or deeper. I'm not sure if this shade would show up on you for blush. However, for a blush topper or perhaps even a highlight, this would most likely look beautiful. Oh yeah, I love that. I think it really brightened up my cheeks. So here are the three blush shades swatched. That way you can see. Now they do have a luminous finish. I'm not noticing any glitter or anything like that, but these are not matte blushes. I would repurchase this palette specifically for these first two shades. I think the last shade would be a little bit too deep. Perhaps as a bronzer topper it might work. However, those first two shades are just beautiful. I really like this blush palette. I'm going to add a little bit of mascara and be right back. Okay, so we are really up close and personal, but I just wanted to show you what this turquoise palette is looking like up close. So what do you guys think with that gold and brownish orange on the top and then the blue on the lower lash line? I love it. In case you couldn't tell, I am so impressed with the formula, and the pigmentation on these shadows so far is superb. Alright, next let's cut into the topic of the day. So the good old age question. How much money do I need to retire on my own terms? So if you've ever Googled this question yourself, you probably found yourself with multiple different answers from a ton of different financial websites. Now, it would be amazing if our financial future and retirement could be solved with one easy, quick question, but unfortunately, that is just not the case. So the good old answer to how much money do I need to retire is $25 billion. No, I'm just kidding. There is actually no answer. The reason is because everyone's situation is completely unique, as well as their retirement goals and dreams. Now, there used to be a rule that in order to retire comfortably, that 80% of your income would be sufficient. Unfortunately, nowadays, the 80% rule doesn't necessarily apply to everyone. So for an example, let's say your annual income is $100,000. So in the $100,000 example, $80,000, being able to pull that much per year off of your investments and your Social Security used to be considered enough to retire comfortably. However, in the financial industry, it is not a one-size-fits-all, so 80% of your annual income is not necessarily the right number for everyone. So I wish I could just shout out a generic number so that way I could answer your question. However, unfortunately, because everyone's situation and retirement goals are completely different, there is no magic number. So if you are curious if you have enough money to retire on, or if you are planning to retire in the future and you're curious about how much money you may need, then I highly recommend reaching out to a financial advisor. Most financial advisors have tools and calculators that they can use in order to give you an estimate on roughly how much money you would need to retire on your own terms. So that is my finance topic of the day. I will meet you back here at the end of the night for a wear test and my final thoughts. Okay. Hi everybody, I just got home from work, so my makeup has been on now for just over 8 hours. So let me zoom you all in before I give you my final thoughts. Okay, so this is what my eyeshadow is looking like after just over 8 hours, as I mentioned. So let me close my eyes so you all can see. And let me take a look up close. Wow. I am not noticing any fading on the eyeshadow. So I have to say, for only my second BH Cosmetics eyeshadow palette, I am so blown away by the quality and the formula of this palette. Now, not only, I'm just looking at my hair, again, it's snowing outside as it does in Michigan, so I am sorry that my hair is an absolute mess, but now not only am I really surprised by the quality of these little palettes, however, the actual color story I love as well. So I really do think that the brown and the gold pair beautifully with the blue. Now, I did notice a little bit of fallout, not only upon application, but also throughout the day. So I don't know if you could tell when you were looking up close, but I do have a few flecks of glitter or shimmer below my eyes. Nothing crazy, but there is a little bit of fallout. And I suspect that's because, as I mentioned, I didn't tap my brush off. So it doesn't really bother me, but I did just want to mention that. However, as far as the mattes go, I didn't notice any fallout whatsoever. So are there any other December babies out there that are planning on picking up this palette, or just anyone in general that's interested in this turquoise December palette? I want to hear all your thoughts down below in the comments section. I hope you all enjoyed the tutorial as well as the topic of the day. I definitely recommend picking up this palette if you are interested in it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!